Hello everyone, this is Elmer Thief. I sent back with an episode of Flower of Summer. Last episode, stuff happened, and well, you can see the result of that. The best way is laying there on the floor. At first, my brain refused to acknowledge that it's really her. Her nun's habit and golden hair in disarray. Her kindly good-natured face. The woman I look up to.
Sensei.
Sister Dahlia? Sister Basquate was attacked. When I tell her about what happened to Sister Basquate, all I get back is a short, really? I look at my Amate partner lying in her bed. My body feels limp and shaky.
バレエ発表会に影響は出そうなの?
Will this affect the ballet recital? I bite back my instinctual response to these selfish words of hers. I just make things worse.
こういう時はな、まずは具合はどうか聞くんだぜ。
When things like this happen, the first thing you're supposed to ask is how's the victim's doing? I tell her. After a moment, she asks just that, and I force my anger aside.
殴られただとかの外傷はない。見回りでクラブハウスに行った際、フックマンを間近で見てしまい、気絶したんだそうだ。
There are no external injuries, nothing to indicate that she was hit or anything. It seems she encountered the hookman up close as she was patrolling and fainted. My blood had run cold upon seeing Sister Basquate's unconscious figure, but it appears that the only damage was a bit of bruising from when she collapsed and she didn't hit her head, thankfully. However,
フックマンを必ず捕まえる。
I'm gonna catch this hook man.
今さら?
I thought that was already the plan.
ああ、正直本腰じゃなかった。いわくつきの廃墟に出かけるバカな大学生のノリで追っていたが、これからは本気で追う。
It was. But to be honest, I wasn't being that serious about it. I went into it like one of those stupid teens who was poking around in spooky abandoned buildings for fun. But now I'm really gonna knuckle down. Someone get me a dog. And 3 other kids. And a van. I'm gonna need all of it. Probably a lot of Scooby snacks, too. My determined acid is swallowed up by the hollow darkness, leaving only silence. The only noise in the room is the even sound of mine and Chidori's breathing.
エリカは?
Erica, you...
あ? エリカはバスキア教諭のことが一番大切なのね。
You really care about her, don't you? More than anything in the whole wide world? Rather than feeling exasperation or anger at her childish phrasing, I'm not quite sure what she means, so I end up staring at her. My eyes have gotten used to the darkness, so I can tell from her outline that she's staring right back at me.
悪いが、言っている意味が。
Sorry, but I don't know what you're getting at.
答えないのね。
Not able to give me an answer, huh?
彼女は私の憧れだよ。ああなりたい自分だ。
I look up to her. She's someone I aspire to be like. Maybe the darkness is a blessing. I'm able to lay bare the truth of how I feel about that holy woman who's the complete opposite of mine in body and soul.
そう。
I see. He falls silent again. I choose my next words carefully, trying to figure out what my Amate partner is really thinking.
なあ、ここのところ。いや。配役の選考試験からこっちおかしいぞ。
Hey, so there's something I've been wondering about recently. Actually, ever since the test to choose the parts for the recital.
あの時は遮られたが、また同じことを繰り返してという言葉は何だ?
You shut me down when I asked you then, but what did you mean when you said that you were repeating the same thing again? Even in the dark, I sense very keenly just how conflicted she is. She's obviously deliberating over what to say. Doesn't want to talk about her past.
私はね、私自身の手で慕っていたものの道を閉ざしてしまった過去があるの。
I once had someone who idolized me, and I ruined their life through my own actions. He finally speaks. Tells you about how her parents were always working. How she barely had a relationship with them and so pursued ballet in an attempt to solicit their attention.
初めは目を向けてくれたわ。でも物珍しく思うのは一時。すぐに相手にされなくなった。
They'd be interested in the things I did at first, but it was only ever temporary, and they quickly forgot about me again. Even though she continued to devote herself to her work, heart and soul, desperate for them to see her. And then,
他の仕事はさほど興味を持ってくれなかったけれど、バレエだけは褒めてくれた。今思えば。
they weren't interested in most of the stuff I did, except for the ballet. That's the one thing they always praised, thinking about it now. I guess it was the easiest thing to brag about to their colleagues, she mutters.
でも私は両親が見に来てくれると約束してくれたことが嬉しくて、稽古にいつも以上に励んだの。他の言葉が耳に入らないほどに。
But I was so happy that they promised to come and see me perform that I gave them even more to my practice than usual. To the point that nothing else mattered to me. That one younger girl who adored her. She goes on to tell me how the other dancers said the girl was ill or had a fever, or something like that, but while the words reached her ears, she didn't really hear them.
そして舞台当日、私は踊った。両親が見に来てくれていることに胸が震える思いだった。
And then the day the performance arrived, I danced. I felt so emotional that my parents actually I felt so emotional that my parents had actually come to watch. The performance of the Nutcracker continued on to the end of Act 1, and the start of the Waltz of the Snowflakes. It was her big moment, she whispers, her voice so quiet I can barely hear her.
あの子は倒れ、私は立ち上がることのできない後輩を心配するどころか、忌々しく思っていた。舞台を壊す気かって。
She collapsed and couldn't get back up. But rather than being concerned for her, I was annoyed at her for ruining the show.
でも、立ち上がれるはずはないわよね。
And now she's never going to dance again. She tells me tearfully.
靭帯を切ってしまっていたのよ。それであの子のバレエ人生は終わり。病院で見舞ったあの子に。
She torn a ligament. Her ballet career was over. When I went to see her in the hospital.
また踊ることを勧めたの。でも、私には向いていなかったので、いい機会でした。
I urged her to keep.
そう言って笑ったの。
I urged her to keep dancing, but she just smiled and said she wasn't that talented anyway. She had a good run. She smiled, she repeats, her voice followed by sobs. I see, I mutter in response.
怪我をした委員長と慕ってくれた後輩の姿を重ねていたんだな。
When the Prez was hurt, it was that girl who idolized her that Chidori saw. Listening to her wavering voice, I don't know what I should say to her.
私はね、エリカ。舞台に立ち続けなくてはならないの。あの子のためにも。
Erica, I have to keep dancing. For her. I wonder when she said she wouldn't be at the academy for long, if that was an expression of her determination to pursue ballet, for the sake of the girl who could no longer dance. If that's what she was really saying, was that she wanted to dance center stage.
私はエリカ、あなたと出会ってから少しずつ変われていると思っていた。
Erica?
あの子が私にしてくれたように。
Erica, since meeting you, I felt like I've been changing. Little by little, just like that girl did for me.
他人を気遣えるものになってきたのだと。
I thought I was turning into the kind of person who's able to take care for people other than themselves. But I haven't changed at all, she says. Her tone endlessly self-depreciating. My selfishness caused the president to get hurt.
本質はきっと変わらないのよ。あの頃の私のままだわ。
You can't change who you really are. I'll always be the same as I was back then. A silence descends upon the room, indicating that the conversation is over. Until I break it. That's not true, I tell her.
なあ千鳥、以前性善説と性悪説の話をしたよな。
Hey Chidori, remember before when we talked about whether humans are fundamentally good or evil?
ええ。だから私は変わらない。性悪説を信じるわ。
Yes, which is why I'll never change. I believe that humans are fundamentally bad.
そうだな。私もお前も性悪説論者だ。
Yeah, that's a view we both share. I sense my ante partner stiffen where she's lying in bed. I force myself to smile.
いいか、性悪説ってのは悪人は悪人。人は生まれながらに犯罪者って意味じゃないんだよ。
That's fine though. The theory that we're evil by nature doesn't necessarily mean that people are born sinners or that bad person is always a bad person.
純子が言った性悪説ってのはな、この場合の悪は勉強をしない、学ばない人間を指しているんだ。
Zunshi, for example, identified people who didn't study or learn from their mistakes as being bad.
人は生まれた時から知識を持っているわけじゃないから、最初は悪だけれど、自力で学び、善人になってゆくべきだって考え方なんだよ。
His theory was that since people are born ignorant, however bad they may be by nature, they should learn to be more virtuous. Vitreous, oh my god, are we playing Zelda? Now that my eyes are accustomed to the darkness, I can see Dory's tense face more clearly. I gaze into her eyes, speaking carefully.
お前は学んでいるだろうが、ノートを取っているのだって知ってる。高崎千鳥は悪人じゃない。変わってないなんて悲しいこと言うなよ。
You're learning. I know you've been taking notes, so Chidori Takasaki, don't you dare say you're a bad person, or that you can't change. The silence stretches on for a moment until...
私を信じてくれるの？
Do you believe in me? Chidori whispers.
人を信じるってのは理屈じゃないんだよ。これは真ん中の姉の受け売りだけどな。
It's not logical to put your faith in other people. At least that's what my male sister always said.
そう。
I see. I feel like the tension in her mind and body is finally easing. It's almost a palpable sensation thanks to the darkness enveloping us both.
エリカが一番私のことを考えてくれているのだものね。
You always put me first, Erica.
何か言ったか？
Did you say something?
何も。ねえエリカ、私もフックマンを見つけるのを手伝うわ。
Nothing. Hey, Erica, I'll help you find the hook man.
稽古はいいのか？
What about your ballet practice?
これ以上誰かが損なわれるのを見るのはもう嫌なの。
I don't want to see anyone else get hurt. Me neither, buddy, I mutter, then close my eyes and give myself up to the dark's intimate embrace. Aww. Wow. After class, I head to the clubhouse together with Chidori. And it sounds like we're getting to the investigation portion of the show, which is the perfect time to stop. I hope you guys had fun and enjoyed that revelation. I'll see you on the next one. See you then. Not that one.